Good morning, everyone. It's Melissa with Build a Better Bakery again with you today for our hashtag Thursday Fave session. I go live every Thursday at 9 a.m., usually no matter what day it is. I know Christmas is coming up soon, and as well as I'm sure you are also very busy with a lot of things going on. So I'm going to keep today short and sweet. But I definitely wanted to show up for you today because I want to talk to you about business confidence. So this is a topic that is very wide. There are a lot of things that I could say to you about business confidence. Today I'm going to give you 3 mantras that I think about all the time. These kind of help me underneath it all continue to grind and continue to grow my businesses. So go ahead and do your hashtag live or your hashtag replay if you're seeing this on the replay. And of course, if you're with me live, you can ask me questions as we're going through the content. So before I jump in, I would like to announce our winner from the hashtag Friday giveaway post that I put up every Friday, asking you about your business, asking you about your goals, just kind of seeing where you are within the baking business world. You'll see a post like that every week go up on Friday. And our winner this week was Faith Davis Vest. So Faith is a longtime elite member in the Elite Mentorship Program. So I was so excited that she won the random drawing. And I'm going to be messaging her soon and giving her her gift, her $10 gift. So if you ever see that hashtag Friday giveaway post up, go ahead and comment and make sure you get into the giveaway and share a little bit about yourself so we can talk more about where you are and where you want to be with your business. Hey, Ro, how are you? Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you for saying that. It's very kind of you. Okay, so like I said, I know many of you are super busy dealing with other issues, getting product out, family stuff, all of that kind of thing. And of course, I wish you all the best with all of that. I hope y'all have a safe season. So again, I'm gonna try to keep this short, but I want to make sure to hit it home with you on confidence today because I know that can be an issue, especially right now, especially moving into 2021. You could be thinking about starting some things up, and hopefully, this little talk will help you through that process. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the mentality behind business, which is going to determine many aspects of where you go and what you achieve, right? Because it all starts up here, and then that focuses down into what we actually do with our lives and what we actually do with our businesses. So let's focus on confidence and a little bit of the lack of it, where that comes from, and how we can use these mantras to get on top of that and move forward. So I find most often the lack of confidence comes from the stories we tell ourselves, right? So our inner dialogue, our inner stories, more so than what people are actually saying and doing to us, right? It's almost like we're creating our own reality before we actually look at the world and react to the world the way it really is. So the good thing about your stories, what's happening in your head, is that you have the power to change those things. You literally have the power to change your story in your mind to create a new reality that you meet, right? That you come up to. So it's kind of the basis of where these mantras are going and how they might be able to change, kind of click something, change a little something in your brain so that you can get over a hump. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Okay, so I want to share these 3 mantras that keep me moving through the businesses. I've had these businesses for over 8 years, so they're considered long-term businesses. I am a mom. I'm a military spouse, right? So these mantras have let me continue to do that through those challenges. Even when I feel lost or unsure, right? We all do. Like, I started an online business that was completely new to me a couple years ago. I felt very lost. I have my own mentors, right? Like, I have people help me do what I need to do too, because sometimes it takes a little bit of extra push to get into those new arenas and try something new, like I'm sure many of you are doing right now or considering doing in 2021. So these are the core mantras. I have others, but these are the ones I wanted to talk about today because I think they are the most pertinent for where we are right now in the world. So number 1, the time will never be just right. Ever. It might be a little scary to hear, but if you're that type of person who's waiting for the right time to do things, you might not ever do it. So that's kind of a trap that we put ourselves in. Sometimes it's perfectionism. Sometimes it's actually ourselves getting in our own way because we fear risk, we fear failure. So we tell ourselves it's not the right time, and then we never actually do anything, but we have a reason for it, right? So think about why, if you're saying that to yourself, why are you saying it, and what would be the right time? Actually write it out on a piece of paper. What is the right time? Is that a reality? Will that ever happen, right? So there is never going to be a just right time to do something. So to take a risk, to propose a partnership, to make your menu, etc., right? It never feels exactly right. But the trick is walking into it and going forward, even if it doesn't feel exactly right. You're still going to do some risk aversion, right? You're going to look at the risks. You're going to weigh your options. But overall, I've kind of adopted a sink or swim method where I look at the analysis of what's happening, what are the possibilities here, what do I have to lose, right? And then what do I have to gain? And I weigh them, and then I just jump in. That's my personality. That's what's worked for me. That's where I am now, 8 years later, with 3 successful businesses, right? So because I take the opportunities when they arise. So this is where true growth is coming from. It's from taking the risk, even when it's not the right time. The unknown, the trials, all of that is part of it. I would be lying to you if I told you that it was easy. I would be lying to you if I told you it wasn't pain-free, right? There's going to be mistakes. We learn from them. We grow from them. We move on. That's kind of the beauty of a mistake, right? Everybody makes them. Nobody is perfect. No one's expecting you not to make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time, right? Like, I literally just made a mistake yesterday when I was doing my pickups for my hot cocoa bombs. Someone made an error when they were picking something up, and it was something that I could have done better with communication. So that was a mistake, but I'm learning from it, and the next time I do it, I'm going to change it so that it's better, right? That's all we have to do, is just learn a little bit from it. And because of that, even if you feel like it's the right time, there are still going to be mistakes. So I'm just letting you know, like, if it's something you want to do with your life, look at the realities of it, and if it's doable for you, give it a shot. That's the type of person I am. I feel like it helps people feel accomplished, feel a little bit better about their decisions. So I'm giving you permission to take a chance. Hey Kelly, good to see you. Merry Christmas. Okay, I'm so glad y'all are here. Okay, number 2. So when we think about business growth, you are the tortoise, not the hare. If you guys know that analogy, know that little story, when it comes to building a business. So it's about consistency. It's not about getting it done ASAP right now, because sometimes goals take years, right? Sometimes, and I mean, I'm the type of person who will set a goal and I want it right away. Like, I want that course to be made in 2 days. I want this business to be profitable, $100,000 a year by the end of the year. Like, there are long-term goals to set up, and sometimes we don't reach them. And sometimes we set them so close that it's kind of unrealistic to set them that way. But I want you to know that consistency, even if you don't reach a goal the day you said you wanted to reach it, consistency is more important than anything else. Okay. So long-term, and that equals long-term stamina when you're talking about business growth. So that's going to fuel a business for more than a year or 2, right? Sometimes you'll see people start a business, they sort of mess around with it, they sort of don't pay attention to it, and then a year later it's over and they're not doing it anymore. Well, it's because they probably weren't consistent, and they probably weren't giving it the attention that it needs. So sometimes looking at what you want to achieve can be overwhelming, right? Like I just mentioned, you have these goals, and you're thinking, okay, I want to leave my 9 to 5 in 2 months. Is that a realistic goal or not? We have to look at risk aversion and the things we talked about. We need to look at the goal and figure out if it's overwhelming you. That's not a bad thing, but it means you probably need to plan it out a little bit from the goal back to your timeline, back to where you are, so you can see what needs to happen to get to the goal. And are that large set of small goals realistic, right? That's what we would look at, something like strategy planning, which is something we go over in the elites. That's the basis of it, right? It's starting out with a long-term goal and then working backwards with tiny goals to get to the long-term goal and put it out on your timeline. So because these types of things can be overwhelming when you're thinking about a huge, big goal, you can literally stop yourself from moving forward due to just the sheer impact of thinking about it all. Like literally all you're doing is sitting there thinking, and you are stopping yourself from doing it because you just cannot fathom all of the work or all of the steps that go into that. Totally get that. So the way I've kind of moved around this issue is, and this has given me the ability to grow no matter what else I have on my plate, right? So motherhood, moving every 2 to 3 years, losing all the clients, illnesses, my spouse being gone for a year during deployments and stuff like that. It's all hard, right? It's not easy. But through it is consistency. Even if it's a little bit, even if it's a lot, as long as it's consistent, you are the tortoise and not the hare, things are going to continue to snowball. Things are going to continue to move forward. Even if it's slow, right? It's just a little bit, one foot in front of the other. So I kind of think about my business sort of like a plant. I'm a plant person too, like I got all my plants. And I have a blog post about this, but it's literally like a plant. You can't leave it for weeks and just expect, unless it's like a desert succulent that doesn't need anything. But let's say you didn't give it any light, right? You can't leave a plant with nothing that it needs for weeks and months and just expect it to thrive or bloom, right? You can't expect that. So we have to think about it like this. Like, what are you giving your business, right? What are you feeding it? You want that consistent flow in to the business so that you can get a consistent flow out of the business. Even if it's a little bit, whatever you're putting in, basically whatever you give back, right? That's the positive thought here, right? Is we're putting in and we're taking out. So don't expect your business to grow if you aren't investing with time and money in whatever way that is for you. If you only have time right now, then you're investing with time. If you only have money right now, you're investing with money. More than likely, you have a little bit of both, right? So if you're not putting it back in at whatever rate you want to, don't expect anything to come back out. And if you do it consistently, even if it's just a little bit, you will eventually get to a bigger goal. And it will bloom, right? Like a plant. That's what we're looking for. Robin says, so good to have a minute to watch you today. Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you too. I bet you're super busy, right? Robin was telling me she was busy recently. Hey, Lori. Good to see you guys. Okay. On to number 3. All right. So first mantra was, it's never going to be just the right time. It just never will be. So taking a leap, my perspective is taking a leap feels a lot better than standing back and watching my life pass me by. That's not what I want. And I don't mean to get like sad or negative here, but seriously, I want to experience things. I want to accomplish things. I want to be the person that did it and not the person that stood back and watched. So that's my personality. I would love to help you do that if that's something that you're interested in. I know it's hard for some people. I know I'm a certain type of person. There are many different types of personalities, but I can definitely help you with that, especially in the elites. That's where I do a lot of mentorship. You are the tortoise, you're not the hare. So slow consistency is better than trying to pump something out really fast that doesn't work very well, right? We want a long-term consistency. And then number 3, we all have a right to a place and a voice. We all have a right to this. So it isn't only YouTube influencers get to do things, and only that lady who's been baking for 20 years in your community, and only your sister-in-law who's really good at macarons, right? Like, not just those people. You also have a right to a place and a voice. So you might be feeling like you're walking into a world that doesn't need you or your skills or your talent, right? You might be sitting there thinking, my market's saturated, right? I'm selling the same thing as someone else. Or you're new and you're feeling like no one sees you and you're not really sure what's going on. You might just feel like you're yelling into the void. I have been there. Maybe you're feeling like you aren't good enough, right? That's a really common imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. Why am I doing this type of thing? Or maybe you think people just won't like your stuff, right? I don't even want to put it out there because I don't want someone to tell me they don't like it. Okay. All very common, all very normal thoughts to be having. But what's nice, again, like we started this whole conversation off with, what's nice is that most of the time, these are your stories. These are your inner thoughts repeating, and you're repeating it to yourself. So it's like, if these are your inner stories, I want you to look at what they are. You could literally get a pen and write them down. Put it somewhere if you don't want anyone to see. Write down what you're saying to yourself that's negative. It could be something as simple as you're not good enough. It could be something as, complex as your chocolate cake doesn't rise high enough and no one will like it. I mean, whatever it is. Write it down and read it. And then I want you to put a check mark next to the thing that someone actually said to you. That it's real, you have evidence to prove that that is true. And someone else would look at that evidence and say, yes, that is true. So if you can't put a check mark by anything, that means it's your internal story that you have created to yourself. You're actually doing it to yourself. And it's not good, right? There's no room for that, especially in business. It's a natural thing to do, but it's gonna take you down. And you have the power to change this particular thing. So if you continue to feed yourself negativity, you're going to continue to see negativity in your life and in your business. You have to switch that key. Now, I actually have a whole training in the elites over this. It's over Crucial Conversations, which is a really good book if you all have ever seen it or read it. You can get it on Amazon or other places. I can give you a link for it if you want. The training inside the elites is like a full, I think it's 2 or 3 hour set of videos. And it helps you with sales communication, but it also helps you with your inner stories. And it helps you with kind of communicating with yourself too, which is really interesting. Because as humans, and you'll find out in that training if you ever take it, we like to stand in our own way. It's like our thing. That's what we do, right? We're so smart that we stand in our own way psychologically because of fear of the unknown and fear of failure. Nobody wants to fail, right? Like that's not our main goal. So we'll tell ourselves things to keep us away from risk. And then we'll use that information to make it sensible to ourselves and to make it make sense, even though it's not exactly what is the issue, right? We're kind of tearing ourselves down so that we don't have the confidence to move forward. But the tearing ourselves down isn't reality. We're doing it. Does that make sense? Like it's kind of we're sort of creating a train wreck to get out of the end, like where the train is supposed to stop. We're creating a train wreck so we don't ever get there. But you can see how that can become a real problem for your self-confidence in your whole life if you continue to do that. So we're going to try to clean that up a little bit. So just think about these emotions. Ask yourself if anyone has ever said them to you, or if they're real, if there's evidence, or if someone would agree. And if you can't, then you know that you can change that story. Okay, so recognize no matter where you are in your journey, we are all completely different places. We have completely different experiences. You do have a unique and special gift that only you can deliver. Literally only you. It's like a fingerprint, okay? Only you have this. Your experience, your heritage, your personality, your style, all of this is a package. And these are all things that no one else can have, no one else can copy, and no one else can deliver to your community because it is you. Nobody else can do this. So you always have a place at the table. So don't ever feel like you don't. You always have a place at the table to deliver what you want to deliver to your community. The trick is figuring out which place serves you best. Okay, sometimes I use the word market gap. Sometimes we use, different terms to describe what exactly it is and how you're serving your community. That's something we go over in the elites as well, and you can find more information just sprinkled around about that type of thing. But the seed is always there. Sometimes people need help figuring out which seed is best, right? But the seed is always there. So know that you don't have to close that door because the seed's always open for you. Know that no matter who you are or what you do with your time, let's say you only do donations, let's say you take high ticket offers for your products, whatever it is, as long as you positively impact just one person, in this huge sea of people looking for help, looking for something like you, right? As long as you can touch one of those people, you are changed for good. You have done something. You are touching a life with your skills. You are literally changing the world with just one. And that's where the consistency comes in, right? Even if it's just one every week, every day, every hour, every minute. It doesn't matter how often it is. But if you can continue to touch people's lives, you're continuing to change the world for better. You're continuing to service people and service your community with what is good inside of you, right? So with all of that being said, I would love to invite you to some of the newest upcoming Build a Better Bakery opportunities to help you start or grow your baking business. So for the next minute or so, I'm just going to run through what's coming up soon in the end of this month and in January if you want to start working more on your business, either starting your business or growing your business. Okay, so go ahead and get your calendars out. If you want to write some of this information down, I've got 3 things to mention. On Tuesday, December 29th, so it's still December, Tuesday, December 29th, we're going to run a 1-day challenge. We're going to call it 2021 resolutions, okay? It's going to be fun because if you don't like resolutions, I think you can still take a part in this. It's more about business resolutions. So coming up with some ideas for what you could do. All 3 coaches from the elites are going to share their top tip for a person who's getting ready to start or up-level their business in 2021. So what would be like the one thing that each of the coaches would tell a person to do in their expertise to make sure they can start or up-level with knowledge and power? Okay. So let us help you with that resolution list. We'd love to help you with that before we get into January. You can comment resolutions over in the comment box if you would like me to send you the waitlist link for full access to the upcoming challenge if you want to get in. So go ahead and put resolutions. It's free. I'd be happy to send it to you. Okay, next thing. January 1 through 5, we're running our Elite Mentorship Program enrollment. The doors are opening for January 1 through 5. So when you come in, we're going to be covering product branding and writing on products. We're going to be covering buyer psychology, which is like a marketing advertising topic. We're going to be covering staying organized. Claire's going to walk you through how to stay organized. She's already got videos on how to get organized. She's going to show you how to stay organized long term. We're going to be talking about partnerships and networking, which is going to be a really good thing coming into the new year. And then I'm also going to do a product demo showing you profitable and versatile cupcake designs. Okay. So all of that is going to be live sessions in January inside the Elite Mentorship Program. You can check out the full 80 plus hours of vault trainings, already recorded content, ready to go on the Hub website if you want to look through it. So you can comment Elite over in the comment box, and I can send you a link to the Information Hub so you can get in the know about the program, and you can even schedule a free call with me over the enrollment time. If you want to get on the phone for a few minutes, talk about your business, talk about what you want to do with your business, and we can decide if the Elite program is something that makes sense for you now or not, right? There are free phone calls ready to go for you. So you can go to the Information Hub and click on the link, and you can just set something up that works for your time frame. Okay, and then lastly, I want to mention January 14th. This is our next upcoming 1-day workshop. Super popular workshops. This one's going to be, I think this one's going to be popular because again, it's going to be all 3 of the elite coaches. It's going to be called New Year, New Biz. All right, so we're going to give you a jump start into starting or up-leveling your business in 2021. The one thing that I'm going to be focusing on, which I know a lot of people have been asking for, I decided to put it into this particular workshop, is that I'm going to be walking everyone through our baking business template from start to finish. So I'll send you the template and I'll walk you through it during our live workshop in Zoom. So you can talk with me, you can ask me questions about what's going on, and you can see how to fill this out to get started in 2021 with a fresh plan and clarity, because we want you guys to just blow this year away. All right. Okay, so those are the 3 things coming up. I'll make some events for those as we get closer to it. Let me know if you have any questions at all. If you want to get on the wait list for the New Year, New Biz workshop, you can always put January workshop over in the comments as well. I'll be happy to send you the list or the wait list link to that too. Okay, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Stay safe out there, and I just hope you all have a lovely season. I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye.